Good evening. It's Tuesday, June 2, 2020 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim. Here's all you need to know in NewsBits tonight. The Cebu City government logged 165 new recoveries from the coronavirus disease today. This brings the total number of recoveries in the city to 1,160. But the city also reported 89 new COVID-19 cases today. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
The Cebu City government now has 1,160 recoveries after the City Health Department logged 165 patients who recovered from coronavirus disease as of Tuesday, June 2. All additional recoveries were asymptomatic. This is higher than the 89 new infections recorded today. Barangays Basak, Pardo, Bulacau, Kamputhaw, Capitol Site, Careta, Sawang Calero, Kinasangan, Lahog, Punta Princesa and Sambag Uno have one new COVID-19 case each. Barangay Calamba with 8 cases, Barangay Dulho Fatima with 7 cases, Barangay Labangon and Suba with 2 cases, Pasil with 3 cases, Mabolo with 9, Mambaling and Sambag Dos with 5 cases, Barangay Tejero with 15 cases, and Barangay Ermita with the highest number with 23. This brings the total count to 2,408. Mayor Edgardo Labella encouraged the public to stay in their homes as much as possible and go out only when necessary to help prevent acquiring the disease. In Cebu Province, 10 new infections were recorded today, bringing the total count to 173. Governor Gwendolyn Garcia says the new confirmed cases are residents of Talisay City, Minglanilla, Bugo City, and Consolacion. Of the number, 6 are from Minglanilla, 2 from Bugo City, and 1 from Talisay City and Consolacion. Talisay City Mayor Samsam Gulya says the new patient is a 25-year-old female from Barangay Tangke who is a health worker in one of the hospitals in Cebu City. Kenneth Torres, NewsBits Tonight.
Close to 42,000 public school students in Cebu City have enrolled for school year 2020-2021. The school year is set to start on August 24. Here's Shari Coronel for the details.
The Department of Education Cebu City says 41,369 students, comprising of kindergarten, grades 1, 7, and 11, have already enrolled for the school year 2020 to 2021. The Education Department opened the enrollment for the school year last June 1. DepEd Cebu City Superintendent Rhea Mar Angtud says the number includes the result of pre-enrollment done by other year levels. On May 11, the Interagency Task Force affirmed the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan presented by DepEd for school year 2020 to 2021. This includes the opening of classes for the basic education on August 24 and will end on April 30. No face-to-face classes will be allowed earlier than August 24, and from August 24, face-to-face learning shall only be allowed when the task force permits, and they will be required to comply minimum health standards. Earlier, President Rodrigo Duterte disapproved holding physical classes until the vaccine for COVID-19 is available. Meanwhile, 78,000 public school teachers in Central Visayas will receive a one-time cash assistance of 3,500 pesos for any teaching-related expenses this month. DepEd Central Visayas Director Salustiano Jimenez says the cash allowance was used to be called as the teacher's chalk allowance. Jimenez says teachers can freely use the allowance to purchase teaching supplies and materials for the upcoming school year. This may also be used for the needed mobile or internet load for online teaching. DepEd Central Office says they will release separate policy guidelines which will allow teachers to use such allowance for teaching supplies and materials related to the preparations to shift to the learning continuity plan of the department amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Teachers no longer need to submit a receipt for the liquidation of this particular allowance. DepEd is currently processing the releasing of the fund, which is targeted to be distributed not later than June 15. Chari Coronel, NewsBits Tonight.
The Mactan Cebu International Airport targets to have its COVID-19 testing laboratory ready before the start of its international operations, tentatively set for June 10. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
Before resuming its international operations, the Mactan Cebu International Airport targets to have its reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction laboratory ready. MCIA General Manager Steve Dikdikan says they are finishing up necessary requirements for the laboratory to be functional. Dikdikan says their new normal policies are in adherence to the guidelines of the Interagency Task Force for Emerging and Infectious Disease and the Department of Health. The policies aim to minimize the risk and assure the public that air travel is safe. Meanwhile, Cebu Pacific Air cancelled its domestic flights from Manila to Cebu on June 3 to 4. Cebu Pacific says it is coordinating with authorities in order to ensure the smooth resumption of flights. Earlier, the Civil Aeronautics Board ordered local airlines to cancel domestic flights on June 1 as some routes are yet to be approved by the IATF. Philippine Airlines says they look forward for an immediate resolution on the issues raised by the local government units. PAL is waiting for IATF's approval of its plans to restart domestic services. PAL, in its latest advisory, will resume its Manila to Cebu flights starting tomorrow, June 3, and Cebu to Davao flights starting June 8. Kenneth Torres, NewsBits Tonight.
Forbes magazine has listed the Philippines as one of the rising tourism destinations after the coronavirus disease pandemic. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
International magazine Forbes named the Philippines as one of the 7 countries with a high potential of being a major tourist destination in a post-COVID world. Based on the article, with 7,500 islands to choose from, the country has something to offer to tourists. Forbes described the Philippines as one of the highly underrated nations where tourists are promised with cultural experience and pristine landscapes. The article also noted that the Visayas Islands offer some of the nation's finest white sand beaches, as well as countless opportunities to spot some of the endemic plant and animal species. Aside from the Philippines, included in the list are Ethiopia, Iran, Myanmar, Georgia, Slovenia, and Tunisia. Meanwhile, Brian Connolly, General Manager of Marco Polo Plaza, says hotels and resorts in Cebu remain to be positive that domestic tourism will slowly trickle and revive the COVID-hit industry. This as the community quarantine downgraded to its second most relaxed status, allowing more types of businesses to reopen. Connolly says they are working on affordable and attractive deals to entice the market once they are allowed to accommodate a wider set of consumers. He stressed hotels adhere to the new normal settings like sanitation and disinfection to fight the spread of COVID-19. Chari Coronel, NewsBits Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Cherry Ann Lip. Good evening.